What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And what an eventful week we have had in the community. I've just been so preoccupied, guys, with obviously everything going on. I haven't really had that much time to add to the channel, but I'm going to try my best today. So, Destined Rivals. Destined Rivals dropped. Some absolutely gorgeous looking products from Pokemon, I must say. They have definitely delivered in terms of the quality, it looks like. I mean, I'm a very big fan of the pack art. I think it does help aesthetically if you're looking at it on the shelf. Um, I think it's gorgeous pack arts. What what we all struggled with is sort of getting the product. Obviously, everyone that I've been active on Twitter, X now, and looking at some of the feedback that people have been given. I can give my experience now, but I can tell you, I did manage to get an ETB. That is all. I didn't manage to get any of the other product. I just got an ETB. I am extremely grateful that I managed to get that, but at the same time, it felt like a tainted victory, really, because of just how many people were really struggling. I don't have to sort of explain to you why people were struggling, but I can go into sort of my experience for the day. So I was actually on. I was in work. I saw the Pokemon Center actually dropped. Not the Pokemon Center. Pokemon actually dropped a sort of exclusive look at the set and the box, and they told everyone that it would be the release date of 30th May. So I saw that post, and I sort of intuitively sort of knew that they were about to drop, right? And I went on the Pokemon Center. I was about, I think, around 3 to 5 minutes out from the drop, right? So it dropped, and I was on the Pokemon Center, and I refreshed at like 3 to 5 minutes post drop. So I was there. I was there, right, guys? And it was the most horrible experience of trying to get product I've ever had to go through. It was definitely. I'm not saying. I know this is sounding very first world problems, but it was hard trying to get in there. I waited in the queue for about. No, it wasn't too. The first queue wasn't too long, right? It was about 30 minutes. So I think it dropped. Was it 3 o'clock or was it 2 o'clock? 3 o'clock, four, something around there. 3 o'clock, or maybe half two. I don't know. Somewhere around there, it dropped, and I was in the queue for half an hour. Right, I got through the queue, and the Pokemon Center in the UK. I think America was a lot better, but in the UK it crashed. Right, I could not see any product anywhere. There was no. It was coming up with Pokemon didn't have any product anywhere of anything. No plushies, no pins, no any trading cards. There was no product anywhere on it. So I took the executive decision after trying, like, duplicating the tabs, everything, that I had to rejoin the queue. So I got back into the queue, and the next time then it took me about 45 minutes to get back to the through the Pokemon Center. So after the 45 minutes, after the half hour, after the 45 minutes, I got back in, and the same thing happened again. So, so there was no product anywhere, and I sort of was like, right, I'm about to be very, very sad and disappointed that I can't get through, and this isn't happening. But I had hope because I saw it was happening to some other people. I'm not sure if it was the same for everyone in the UK, but I know for a lot of people it wasn't happening. I know a lot of people use links, which might be the way forward, is to have a direct link to the product, because I didn't have that initially. The third time I joined the queue, and I was this was now from like 3. I didn't leave work until like 5, right? So I was in work trying to do this and work at the same time. Um, yeah, I got in the queue. I got out of the queue into the Pokemon Center at like 10 to 5, 10 around like half 4, 10 to 5, somewhere around there. And I actually, the product was on the Pokemon Center, right? I could see product. Everything was sold out. Not the Destined Rivals product, but it was working at least, right? I could see the Twilight box was sold out. I could see product on the Pokemon Center website. Every time you search for Destined Rivals, nothing came up, right? So you couldn't search for the Destined Rivals product at the top. This is my experience. I could not search for any product, so I couldn't look if there was more than if there was just because all I knew the ETB was out, right? That's all I knew. I didn't know if any other product was out. Didn't see any other product. I couldn't even see the ETB at the start. So what I had to do, I had to click on this Pokemon Center emblem at the top there. It would take me to the homepage, and then on the homepage there was a banner advertisement for the ETB, and then I clicked on that, and then it took me to the ETB, and then I managed to get one. Right, so that's sort of how I managed to get an ETB. Through all of this process, I did not once see or have the opportunity to buy the booster bundle, the sleeve boosters, and the booster box. So that was sort of unavailable to me. I could not see that anywhere. There was no banner, there was no advertisement, there was no search that would bring it up. So I'm not even really sure how people got this, because my experience is I couldn't see any of that. And my only sort of educated guess is that people used the links that some people had, and some of them worked. I've seen success stories, obviously, and on people post on X. But people, yeah, so people were able to get this. That wasn't available to me. But all in all, I'm happy that I got one. Now, Pokemon really need to think about ways to streamline and make this experience nice and smooth for everyone. Now, at this point, because I'm not a bot, right, and I'm a collector, I'm an investor in Pokemon. I love the hobby. That's how I choose to interact with it, right? Um, I wouldn't mind some sort of verification, like driver's license, like some form of identification that would prove that you're not a bot. Now, I'm not saying there is a bot issue, because I've seen obviously people complaining about bots. Now, I haven't really done any of my own research. I don't know how much of this issue is a bot issue. Obviously, Pokemon should know that, and they should know the numbers. But if it is a bot issue, right, they should be implementing stuff like that, and or sending email links to people personally to sort of come in and collect their stuff. So they need to rethink this queue system, and they need to rethink how smooth it was to get product, because it was not smooth. It was a horrible experience. It was hours of my life trying to get one piece, and some people, unfortunately, a lot of people walked away with nothing, and sort of that really does go against everything that Pokemon are trying to do. So yeah, it was a hard day for people trying to get product. Obviously, well done if you did manage to get any. But yeah, guys, Pokemon need to definitely up their game for trying to access products. Obviously, when the demand is like this, they do need to step up. Obviously, when you're in a bear market and people don't really care, like when Chilling Reign and Fusion Strike were originally out, obviously they didn't really have this issue. So they're seeing new problems arise from this demand, and it is their responsibility to do something about it. But that being said, Destined Rivals, I believe it will be the evolving skies of Scarlet and Violet. Good, better, or for worse, because depending whether you can get product. But there is a chance. The rest of the set hasn't been leaked out yet, so we don't really know the Rocket side. I'm sure that'll be coming in the next month. I'm very excited to see the Rocket side of things. I'm sure everyone else is. I think it's a big set. So this has extreme potential to be the evolving skies of Scarlet and Violet. Now, saying that, even if they print heavily and they print they keep printing, I think the market will absorb this, because the market's going crazy. So even if you look at 2 3 years out, if they keep printing it to the ground, keep printing it to the ground, like Shining Fates, they print it to the ground, print it to the ground. I still think it is an investable set because of just how good the set is. I think the market will absorb all the print runs like Crown Zenith. It will just absorb it, and it should then obviously obviously at the gate it's gonna be really expensive, but it should come down if they keep printing. But guys, I think long term this is the set. This is the set, and it would be a shame for people to not sort of to miss out on it. And I think Pokemon need to do better. Is my sort of opinion. Um, they are clearly printing the maximum amount of cards they've ever printed, and I'll sort of go into that in another video. I'll talk about Surgeon Sparks and how I see that playing out. Because obviously we've had a few months now of from Surgeon being released and in the market, so we've got a bit of data. But yeah, it's one of those, guys. It was bittersweet. Sweet, I got one. Bitter, I couldn't access anything, and it was a really. It's more of the user interface for the customer, right? You just want it to be smooth. You want it to be painless. You don't want to be doing this for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Some people were in this queue for hours and they got kicked out. Luckily I didn't even get kicked out the queue. My Pokemon Center just wasn't working. Like it was just crashed. But some people just kept getting kicked out the queue. Some people yeah, it was not a smooth experience for a lot of people, and yeah, they will, and I think they will answer and they will step up their game, and they have obviously come out and said they'll keep printing and more will be available and all that jazz. And I think they're willing to improve, and that's what I do like about Pokemon is they always try and make the customer happy. And I am optimistic for the future for them to sort this an issue they haven't really had out before. Like 2021 was big. It wasn't this hard, right? It was not this hard. Um, yeah. So we'll see what happens. Listen, guys, I hope everyone sort of has a bit more hope out there, and obviously everything's really negative now, and everyone's being very negative, and it is bad. But let's just try and stay as positive as possible. There will be more opportunity, and Pokemon have made that very clear, and it is their responsibility, and they know it is. So I can only have hope. Be optimistic, guys. I promise. I promise. I'm sure you guys. I'm sure we all can get our hands on some more product. But yeah, guys. With that, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I will catch you in the next video.